Sam Rubin from KTLA. Sammy, you're the best, pal. Thank you.
To remove the double chin, but my wife this morning was like, our morning show is 4 hours long at KTLA. She's like, they never should let you on that last hour. I could tell you it hit the wall. But anyway, happy to be
here. No, yeah. Well, I don't. I'm astounded by how great you are, and I'm not going to lavish you with any more praise now. I want to pivot, but you've got such a fan in me. I think your work is just really top drawer. Now, tell me what reaction was to the Oscars last night. I really liked it, and
I think the reaction was because I'm reading something that's interesting to me. Because I thought towards the end, when Jimmy Kimmel read that review from former President Trump, I thought that was a comedy bit. I thought it was completely made up, only to discover it wasn't made up. It was an actual tweet that Trump had posted on Truth Social. And apparently Jimmy Kimmel telling some people backstage that when told, hey, you have some extra time, there's time to fill a TV phrase, Mark, that the show is light, which is never the case with the Oscars, and came as a surprise to me. He's like, I'm going to read this tweet, and that some people told him not to do it, but he did. And then that fantastic end line, the capper line, isn't it a little past your bedtime? And what Kimmel said was, no, isn't it a little past your jail time? Which was a fantastic, very funny thing. But I think Jimmy will be invited back for year 5 if he's so inclined. And it reminds me of another era. How many years did Billy Crystal do it? So I think we're encroaching.
Right. He feels like this generation's Billy Crystal.
Right.
And Alan says, show is well thought out. Twins, Arnold and Danny, great entertainment with original Batman, Michael Keaton and audience. That was a great beat in the entire thing.
Michael Keaton, post 70, looking great. This was a more mature Oscars, but you know what? People looked fantastic. And then that original idea to have 5 former Oscar winners make these presentations. When I saw the first one, Best Supporting Actress, I thought, gee, this is nice. It is heartfelt. It is going to take forever. And so I thought there's no way they could do this ceremony in 3.5 hours. And then amazingly, even with some big production numbers, they did do it in 3.5 hours. And
I had exactly the same thought you did. In fact, I think I tweeted it, which is, right. I love this, but it's going to take, it's going to take into tomorrow if everybody comes on,
Right.
Alan Rossi just pointing again with his comment that Kimmel was right out of the chute with the ad-libbing. Thank you for the partial standing ovation, which is exactly right. He got a partial standing ovation in the hall. But Kimmel is so loose, he makes it look easy, but wow, there's a lot of pressure. That's a very tough room. And yet the room... go ahead.
He'll be the first to tell you this. He is much improved. When you consider when the late night talk show came out and was on these, I think Conan was on weekly cycles, but Jimmy was on 13-week cycles. The show is a billion times better now. And, one person I've spent a lot of time with off camera, Guillermo, is the nicest guy alive. Yeah. And I thought that even that toast thing, the sponsored drink, essentially, and I work several award shows, and you're always trying to look for these clever integrations. I thought that was the best integration I had ever seen.
I agree. And I thought I kept waiting for it to get awkward, and it never did. It only got funnier.
And I thought they plugged the tequila. They plugged the tequila by the brand name, but they had fun with Charlize and other people. And Guillermo is fantastic. And that idea initially, a long time ago, I thought, this is a sidekick. There's racial overtones here. I don't think I like this. Over the years, it has proven to be absolutely fantastic. And the thing that they have Guillermo do at the Emmy Awards, which is where he interviews the stars facing back to back, is also a gem.
It really is. I mean, I thought they did some high wire stuff like that. Like that was chancy, and of course the John Cena thing, that was mega high wire, absolutely. And it worked.
But doesn't John Cena become the desire of every woman in the world and the nemesis of every man in the world? Because I'm not a heavy workout person. You're, Mark, fitter than I. But nobody could ever get that fit. Who could?
But when he got the big laugh off the one, after he gets to the whole thing, I mean, the setup essentially, I guess, and then he gets to the category, and he just says the one word, wardrobe.
Or
It
costume.
was costumes. Thank you. I'm sorry.
And what I suspect was in the written script on the prompter was costume with a period.
Right.
And he just paused and then into the new sentence. They're important, but not to be too anatomical. What my wife always talks about, because it does not exist with her husband, is look at the shoulders. Oh, go back to the new.
Can you go back to the shoulders?
And then look at the waist, and they call that
I see.
Drop, what
do they call it, Sam?
The drop.
Mm-hmm.
And so in other words, he's 44, 46 inches across on the shoulders. He's 30 inches across the waist, and it's that drop, which again most men do not possess, but he certainly does. And then TMZ, of course. I know what they call it for a woman. I don't know what they call it for a man, but he was wearing flesh-colored jockstrap.
Oh, he was. Okay, because I was a little nervous, kind of anxious that things could go south, you know. And then this was the finish. Yeah.
Really good.
Just really, really funny. There were some moments that were flat. I thought, oddly, is it Melissa McCarthy?
And Octavia Spencer, again, this idea, what brings you forward or what pulls you back? And I thought that was a setback for them both, most especially for Melissa McCarthy. And I don't know if it was just badly thought out or badly executed. It wasn't good.
Yeah, and you always wonder, did they write that, or did they decide, no, this is what we're going to do? Were there other things, Sam, that struck you as Ryan Gosling is very talented? Ryan Gosling was a showstopper,
I think
great.
Mindy's correct, and we'll get to that in a second. But this Al Pacino sort of botching it at the end. Apparently, Al Pacino was supposed to do that with Michelle Pfeiffer, and Michelle Pfeiffer was a no-show. And
wow, that's great knowledge. I was not aware of that,
and I was not aware of that either. So I don't know if they rehearsed it with two people, but she realized at some point she could not attend, and that would have been a Scarface reunion of sorts or whatever. Yeah. But anyway, he was left on his own, and I bring this up for no reason at all. That movie, people talk about comfort movies. That movie Heat is my favorite movie. I've seen it. I watch it constantly. And, it's on Netflix now. It's him and De Niro. It's the greatest movie ever. I did a thing with Amy Brennerman not long ago. She played De Niro's girlfriend in it. And I'm like, that is the greatest movie ever. She goes, you're right. It is the greatest movie ever.
Well, just the relationship, super cop, super robber. Yeah. I thought Kimmel got off a great line, though. I mean, I understand it was written, but still, I thought it was really great. Bringing Pacino on, saying he got a baby. We're lucky he got a babysitter tonight, and he could be here with us. I mean, the idea somehow, he just has this newborn, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that right, Sam?
Yes, he does have a relative newborn, probably 6 months old at this point.
Yeah.
Well, to not to belabor this topic, and it's not quite the same age disparity. Paul Giamatti with a great award season. And the most beautiful girlfriend you can imagine. This is a woman who played the mistress on Billions. Now it's a girlfriend in real life. And is she a beauty? Oh my gosh.
Wow. It's a night of beautiful people.
Right.
I like that the line got out there from Kimmel. Was it Kimmel who did the line about 20 years to there she is, I guess.
Yeah. And that picture does not do her justice at all.
About De Niro's girlfriend.
He made it De Niro line. Yeah.
About the De Niro girlfriend being 20 years.
Right.
Whatever it was. It was an age line.
40 years, 60 years.
Yeah, exactly. Anything? I'll tell you something that didn't work for me. There they are. Thank you for that, Giamatti. And it hasn't worked for me for the last few years. This is not unique to this year. Yeah, it's awful. Why can't you just run the GD pictures and a little bit of dialogue or moments from their films? How you can? It was. I'm going to use this word, which probably overstates it in the world of overstatement, but I thought it was a travesty.
It was a big swing, and it was a big swing and a miss. I think in the past, Sarah McLachlan singing that Arms of an Angel, which has now been exploited in every charity ad. The first time that was done, it was very effective. And it hasn't been effective since. And this is Buccelli and his son singing, fantastic. All these names you cannot read, confusing. And then all these dancers the dancers got in the way, and the dancers, which is not a diminishment of their talent. It was kind of everything in the kitchen sink. And then, of course, a few people have pointed out names that were omitted. That's hard to do. But this angle here, I don't know who this guy is.
Yes, exactly. Thank you.
But I also can't really make him out as clearly as I could because his name is blocked by these two dancers.
Yeah, I mean, it's dancers, it's Bocelli's, it's all about the performance in the hall. Hey, dude, we want to see who we lost this year. Yeah. There were some really high pro. Treat Williams was still pumping a major career. We don't even see him up there. You know what I mean? It was just I thought it was. They took what was already.
What I think happens, and I was in an elevator late last night.
Sam, your mic is like under the covers or something. We don't.
Oh, did I?
Oh, there you go. Now I hear it. Okay,
sorry.
Go ahead. You said, "What I think happens." You said.
I was in the hotel, the elevator with people from the orchestra, and they were like, "How did it go? Were we seen?" And I was like, "Yes, you were seen. The orchestra was beautifully filmed. It was fantastic. In fact, I thought they incorporated the orchestra better than they have in years." And they reminded me several years ago, they had the orchestra in the Columbia Records building 4 blocks away, and they hyped it. So, they try different things. But this In Memoriam, and I assume it's just sort of a separate, detached team. Hey, you guys, you take care of this. And so many things worked last night that this not working, I think, wasn't a huge thing. It was just unfortunate it didn't work.
Yeah. No, it wasn't a huge thing, but it is. I used to really look forward to the In Memoriam, and it always chokes me up. And to be honest, I mean, it chokes me up regardless of how they mangle it. It's sad, Yeah. But that said, oh yeah, thank you, Alan, who really clearly watched a lot of it. Alan Rossi in our audience. Ask Sam about the new award next year, Best Casting.
Well, they referenced this new.
Again, grab your mic, Sam, and hold it closer to your whatever.
You know what I'm going to do? You know what it is?
You've rolled over onto it or something.
This speaks well of me. I am so old-fashioned. This MacBook, I think, is from like 2009, and I need to replenish it. And I also need to plug it in. So
you look fine, and everything was fine. It's just that that mic just gets caught a little bit. So go ahead.
Let me try to find that plug. But anyway, I just did in the dark.
Okay.
So
what about this new category, Best Casting, Sam?
They had a funny bit between Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt talking about the new stunt category, which is coming.
Right.
So I thought it was good that they mentioned that there is going to be a casting category. And Jimmy made a joke about it that was actually, I think, a very effective joke, where he said essentially now are, not only the actors who bested you, but you were going to give an award to casting people who didn't pick you.
Yeah, that was really clever.
That was good too.
Look, that number that Gosling did, that was incredible.
And not to be to brag about my own gift of prophecy, I do a lot of reports around the world, and I did a lot of reports for English and Australian and New Zealand television yesterday before, and I said, here's what's going to happen. A, you're going to see famous faces, you're going to see cameos, and you're going to see Slash on stage. And not that I divined that, but obviously you had to have Slash on stage. Sima Louis Shang, I can't say it, but the Marvel movie he was in.
Sure.
On the red carpet, literally lied to us. We said, "You're in it, aren't you?" I said, "No." He didn't want to give it away. And then another thing, and this is sometimes how little things can add up to big things. They've tried using DJs and other people as the announcer. David Alan Grier, who is a wonderfully and highly respected comedian and I think Yale-trained actor. David Alan Grier, well, who knows more about announcing than you? David Alan Grier was the announcer, and I thought did a really good job.
I agree.
And I thought that was a kind of a choice. The phrase they use, and it's been applicable in jobs that you've had, certainly. They call that the voice of God. And maybe because he kind of looks with that big gray beard like God, or what we perceive God to be. But he was a good addition last night, and he walked the carpet. He brought his daughter. And I thought, this happens occasionally. We're always trying to impress our kids in show business. They're never impressed. His daughter was right there. Who's ever doing your pictures, Mark?
I know. I'm quite impressed with whoever's doing the pictures. Either it's Kim or Tony, or if it's both of you. Impressive. Anyway, go ahead. Yeah.
Congratulations to them both.
Yeah.
But anyway, to Tim and Tony, the daughter was very impressed. And her name was it Lulu? Anyway, she had a funny name, but like at last, Dad has taken me to something I want to go to.
So now a quick note about winners. There
Sure.
was a surprise, I thought. I didn't, but it kind of was when I saw that Poor Things won a couple early.
Yeah,
I thought,
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
maybe it's going to be a Poor Things upset. Go ahead on that.
Me too. So basically, for Best Actress, and all these other acting awards were predetermined and went exactly as people anticipated. But Best Actress was this split. Is it Lily Gladstone from Killers of the Flower Moon or Emma Stone from Poor Things? And an argument that my colleague Doug Culk had made is if you watched it, Lily Gladstone is not on camera very much in Killers of the Flower Moon. And a majority of the time she's ailing or in a coma. Emma Stone is in Poor Things for almost every frame. And I think this happens sometimes where there's an assessment of what I'll call a degree of difficulty. And I guess from a standing start, it would look like Emma Stone's role was harder to play. Lily has been great on the award circuit. She's won many, many precursors. So folks who really know this stuff said she's going to be the winner. And then when Emma won, you could tell she was just shocked, stunned. And then I had a conversation with her backstage that AP, no less, picked up and distributed without credit. Thank you very much.
Wow.
What?
Where I go find you guys, your snooper staff will be. It's AP's Twitter feed, where I basically said, I've done this for a while and I've never seen anybody as shocked as you. And she was like, yes, I think I blacked out. I couldn't, and this was 20 minutes afterwards. She just couldn't believe it still.
Wow.
So
sometimes when they do that thing like, oh my God, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to say, it gets to be almost a little obnoxious, like, okay, pull it together, say something. Or
Right.
But in this case, she was legitimately overwhelmed and swept under by
but she was sincere, and she mentioned she said the director, who she obviously is very close with, having made several movies with him now, the director said, you know what, take yourself out of it. It's not, in essence, it's not about you. It's about the totality of all her efforts. So I thought her speech was actually very good.
I agree. When she got to it, I thought it was excellent.
They've run a really good campaign.
I thought that the Oppenheimer crew also was really great with his wife.
You know what's funny? I wonder how many times we see this backstage, and it's not a vanity thing. They're just deeply self-satisfied. They're like, yes, as it should be. And I think with good reason. And the thing that they were surprised by, and Steven Spielberg, by the way, very receptive. And he was told in advance about a joke about him and how his effect, he had aged since the Fablemans, and he played right along. Along.
I thought the whole room played along on those kinds of moments.
Exactly right. Yes. Although this is minor and has been dwarfed out. Jimmy made an Emma Stone joke early on, and you could see her mouthing unkind description about Jimmy Kimmel, but that did not get the traction that the Taylor Swift dismissal of Joe Coy got, which in any event.
No. I love these kind of X-rays of moments like that, and I also think that the comment he made about Germany, I believe, also, I felt like that was sort of a little bit problematic early. Remember, it was a rom-com.
It was funny. This Sandra Hüller, who's in 2 Best Picture nominations.
She's so brilliant.
Is from Leipzig, and I learned, because I think there are many different elements surrounding this, but one element which is very important, and Divine Joy Randolph is a beneficiary of this. Coleman Domingo is a beneficiary of this. Hey, I want to get an Oscar nomination, and I want it to, among other things, help my career. And I wanted to raise my quote. And both Divine and Coleman have booked 3 movies, big movies, during award season.
Wow. Wow.
So
Sandra Hüller, I have to think, and she was in 2 films, Anatomy of the Fall.
So I basically said, be it Leipzig or Hollywood, is the phone ringing? And she was like, it is ringing.
It is ringing. She was brilliant. Yeah. I thought Jimmy was amazing. I just think he is so talented. He makes it look so easy. And that last thing, as you say, I thought it was a bit also until I realized, oh my God, that is a Trump tweet that he's And then the last thing I'll say is that cutaway of Jodie Foster also helped sell it. You know what I mean? Like when it was like, wow, she's laughing.
Right.
You need to see that. Reactions sell everything.
Right. And you're exactly right. You're exactly right. And we had a fashion guy on today, blah, blah, blah. And this is a phrase I use, Jodie Foster amongst them. It's the base canvas. Her eyes are so piercing. She's so really gorgeous. I couldn't even tell you what she was wearing. It doesn't matter. And then when they talk about these looks, and that'll be, I think, a discussion that goes on for a long time. There's Charlize, Zendaya. Oh my God. Here's what I want to spend my life doing. I want to spend my life getting paid to go to events and looking at attractive women.
Well, there you have it. Your red carpet show is great too, and I know you start super early, but I really enjoyed it. Sam, you're great to spend time with us. I adore you, and I look forward to the next time. Thanks.
All right, Mark. Thanks so much. Thank you, guys.
Okay,
and
Sam Rubin.
A rare thing. I'll do the.
Please plug anything.
It's my socials are at Sam on TV. So we have some really good footage on Twitter and Instagram from last night. So at Sam on TV, you can check out these great carpet moments and some other things.
Look forward to it. At Sam on TV. Can we share some of them here on the show?
Sure, go. Your little squad, which is so good. You literally say Jodie Foster, and the picture appears. There it is.
Yeah. But we'll get Sam on TV. But I also will share some of the. We never, with the Oscars particularly, you never know copyright wise what we're allowed to do. But,
we don't care. Watch this. Okay, so we're talking for a while, and Jessica Holmes here in the blue, who I love as much as anyone I've ever worked with.
She's great.
She will grab his arm at some point, his bicep, and will not let it go.
Well, that's sometimes you got to grab what you want.
Yeah, right. That may not be the clip that they provided.
All right, guys. I promised Sam I let him out by. So I'm 15 seconds before 12:30, so I'll let you go. Thanks, Sammy. Appreciate it.
All right, let's do that.
Sam Rubin. Hi, it's Mark, and I thought that was great. Hit the notification bell. You'll know whenever there's a new video being dropped, and please subscribe to our channel to help us save the universe.